Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Mind Rush. Get ready to dive into heart-pounding chases, jaw-dropping action, and the most thrilling moments caught on camera. Let's get your heart racing.
Now, he just stole a squad car. He just stole a squad. He's northbound on 51 in the southbound lanes and has marked squad unit.
May 3rd, 2025, Macon, Illinois. Deputies respond to a 911 call from the PV Quick Stop gas station after reports of a man waving a machete at bystanders. The suspect, later identified as 38-year-old Oscar McCurry, is described as agitated and unpredictable. Units from both the Macon County Sheriff's Office and Decatur Park Police converge on the scene within minutes.
He pointed the shotgun out.
When officers arrive, McCurry's behavior escalates. In a sudden move, he jumps into a parked squad car, starts the engine, and drives off through the lot before crashing into another patrol vehicle.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Moments later, he steps out holding a shotgun. Officers take cover, giving repeated verbal commands as the standoff intensifies.
Let's go. Come on, come on. Come on, Albert, get up here.
After gunfire is exchanged, McCurry retreats on foot, continuing to walk along nearby streets while officers keep their distance and attempt to negotiate. For nearly 20 minutes, deputies follow and communicate with him until they're finally able to move in and take him safely into custody. McCurry is transported to a local hospital for treatment. One officer sustains minor injuries and is released the same day. Oscar McCurry, age 38, was booked into the Macon County Jail. Charges related to this incident remain pending. The Macon County State's Attorney's Office later announced that no charges would be filed against the officers involved. A tense confrontation that began with a machete at a gas station ended with restraint, patience, and a safe resolution. Quick coordination and controlled response prevented what could have been a far more tragic outcome. April 10, 2020, Fort Smith, Arkansas. Just before 7 a.m., Arkansas State Police receive a request for assistance from the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office. Deputies are already in pursuit of a black pickup speeding through US 71, blowing through red lights and using the shoulder to pass cars. As morning traffic builds, the situation quickly escalates. Troopers respond, moving to intercept the truck as it barrels north through the city.
0 Street, headed toward Barley.
The pursuit continues at high speed along Zero Street, the truck weaving between lanes, crossing into oncoming traffic, and forcing vehicles off the road. Every second adds more danger. One wrong move could mean disaster. The trooper stays close, waiting for a chance to safely bring it to an end. Dispatch gives the go-ahead. The truck has to be stopped.
Got him stopped and then going ahead and start EMS.
Seconds later, the trooper moves in and performs a pit maneuver. Both vehicles leave the roadway and crash violently into a roadside ditch. Emergency crews rush to the scene within moments. The driver was identified as 31-year-old Justin Battenfield of Fort Smith. He sustained fatal injuries in the crash. The trooper, Sean Ellis, survived but suffered serious injuries. The Arkansas State Police later ruled the use of force justified, citing Battenfield's reckless disregard for public safety. A morning patrol turned into a deadly pursuit that lasted less than 20 minutes, but left a lasting impact. What began as a routine traffic stop became a split-second decision between risk and responsibility. For the trooper, it was a moment where training met reality, and survival was the only outcome left. October 12, 2025, Pierce County, Washington. Just after midnight, deputies spot a stolen box truck speeding through Bonnie Lake. The driver refuses to stop, and a simple traffic stop turns into a dangerous pursuit through the quiet streets.
He could turn, but, oh, never mind, there you are. Get straight, 451. Good sticks, and he just attempted to hit another deputy.
The stolen box truck tears through narrow roads, swerving wildly and ignoring intersections. Deputies hang back, coordinating a plan as the driver refuses to surrender, pushing the chase deeper into the dark Pierce County night.
Two attempted pits, he drove out of both of them. Third time's a charm.
Still a turn. Wait till a turn, Steve. Oh, there we go. Correct.
Finally, a well-timed PIT sends the truck sliding off the road and crashing into a ditch. When deputies move in, they find both suspects trapped in the front cab and smoke rising from the engine. With seconds to spare, they smash through the windshield, pulling the men out one by one. Both suspects are checked by medics and taken to the hospital. The 42-year-old driver is later booked for possession of stolen property, felony eluding, and assault on law enforcement, while his 38-year-old passenger faces multiple warrants: possession of stolen property, felony, eluding assault on law enforcement, a midnight chase, a smoking truck, and two lucky suspects who walked away alive. For the Pierce County deputies, it was another long night on patrol. For the driver, it was the end of the road. July 3, 2025, North Little Rock, Arkansas. Just after 7 a.m., an Arkansas state trooper spots a silver sedan flying down the road like it's late for its own court date. The driver's weaving through lanes, pushing well past the limit and ignoring every rule in the book. When the trooper flips the lights, the driver doesn't even think about stopping. He hits the gas instead. And just like that, what could have been a simple traffic stop turns into another Arkansas-style morning chase.
38, P65, slow driving.
The silver sedan darts through narrow streets, flying past driveways and cutting corners like it's auditioning for a stunt show. The trooper stays locked in, steady hands, zero hesitation. The radio chatter gets tense as speeds climb and traffic starts to build up ahead. It's clear this driver isn't planning to surrender quietly, but the trooper has patience and a plan.
Autobahn Little and northbound, speed 60. No traffic.
Moments later, the trooper seizes the opportunity and executes a flawless pit maneuver, sending the sedan spinning off the road into a ditch. Officers rush in, guns drawn, and order the driver to step out. After a few tense seconds, he finally complies and is placed under arrest without further resistance. As the dust settles, the suspect, whose morning started with speeding, now finds himself facing a much longer ride, this time in the back of a patrol car. The driver was charged with felony fleeing reckless driving, while intoxicated refusal to submit to chemical test, speeding and multiple traffic violations. Another chase, another lesson. When you try to outrun Arkansas State Police, you're not testing your car, you're testing fate. And fate doesn't usually lose, especially when a pit maneuver is involved. October 6, 2025. Bath Township, Michigan. Just before noon, police are looking for a suspect wanted in a domestic violence case and possibly armed. Officers spot the man driving a silver SUV on I-96, but when they try to stop him, he makes it clear he's not pulling over.
36 Central, I'm jumping in. I'm lead car.
36 lead car, 1207.
He's taking the shoulder. He's doing a U-turn. We'll stop him.
Shoulder, U-turn 07. All follow unit 2, clear, flip back around.
Okay, he's grabbing something out of the passenger seat. He's a single occupant, speed 200. Still left lane, approaching volatile.
He's grabbing something out of the front seat, speed 100 mile an hour, left lane, 12 away.
The driver starts weaving through traffic, slowing down just enough to taunt the officers behind him. He sticks his arm out the window, gesturing, waving, and clearly enjoying the attention. Moments later, he suddenly cuts across the median, driving straight into oncoming traffic, forcing cars to swerve and brake. Deputies line up for pit maneuvers, but he keeps dodging them by inches.
Westbound and eastbound lanes coming up to Fowlerville. Westbound and the eastbound lanes coming up to Fowlerville.
4012, get on that ramp and block it off. Sun is clear, westbound, eastbound lanes.
093, I'm in the left lane, eastbound.
Clear, eastbound, left lane.
Going the wrong way, getting off at Fowlerville now, in the grass area.
Coming to Fowlerville.
Clear, coming to Fowlerville.
36 pit.
Pit.
Finally, near an entrance ramp, a deputy times it perfectly, spinning the SUV around and bringing the pursuit to a dusty stop. The suspect climbs out, throws his hat to the ground, and starts making wild gestures like he's still in charge. Officers don't play along. A quick taser deployment brings the show to an end. He's cuffed, searched, and handed back to Bath Township Police without another word. Charges fleeing and eluding, felony, resisting arrest, reckless driving, domestic violence, original warrant. From waving out the window to driving the wrong way down the highway, this suspect made all the wrong moves. The chase ended safely, but for him, the road ahead is a whole lot bumpier. June 9th, 2021, Atlanta, Georgia. Troopers joined DeKalb County investigators searching for Terrell Gass, wanted for allegedly killing his grandmother. They soon spots his black Dodge Dart on the road, but before they can box him in, gas slams into a patrol car and takes off. The Dodge weaves through traffic on Old National Parkway, nearly hitting a pedestrian as it speeds toward I-285. Troopers stay close, waiting for the right moment to stop him.
Marching on to 85 north. Nope, staying 285. Pit, 943's pit. 1050, he's still moving, he's still rolling.
Clear pit, we're still rolling, past 85, 85 is done.
Get out! He's coming up the hill!
As the pursuit hits the interstate, one trooper moves in and executes a clean pit maneuver, spinning the Dodge off the road and down an embankment. The suspect jumps out, running uphill, ignoring every command. When he reaches into his pocket and pulls a gun, officers open fire. He's struck and taken into custody within seconds. A loaded handgun is recovered beside him. The fugitive, Terrell Gass, was wanted for murder in DeKalb County. He now faces additional charges for aggravated assault on law enforcement, felony, fleeing, and reckless driving. For troopers that night, it was another reminder that in Georgia, no one outruns the law for long. Once the blue lights catch up, it's game over. January 25, 2023, Atlanta, Georgia. Just after midnight, a Georgia state trooper is sitting at a red light, probably thinking about going home, until a black Dodge Charger screams by like it owns Peachtree Road. Radar says 68 and a 35. That's double the limit and double the attitude. The trooper flips a U-turn, lights up the street, and for a second it looks like the driver might stop. But nah, he hits it again, and just like that, game on. The Charger rockets through Peachtree, weaving through traffic like it's allergic to staying in one lane. Red lights, ignored. Double yellows, decorative. Backup arrives as troopers Tierney and Shackelford join the pursuit. The Charger swerves into oncoming lanes, cutting it way too close with oncoming headlights. At this point, it's less of a chase, and more like watching chaos on wheels. Near Mathieson Drive, the Charger dives into a shopping plaza, desperate for one last escape. The troopers see their chance and pull off a perfect pit maneuver, spinning the Charger up onto a curb and bringing the madness to an end. The driver bails but doesn't make it far, tackled and cuffed before he can even think about running again. Inside the car, officers find a loaded rifle, a 100-round drum magazine, and open alcohol bottles. The driver, 25-year-old Caleb McNeil, is taken into custody without further resistance. Charges: felony fleeing and eluding DUI, refusal, reckless driving possession of a firearm during a crime, driving without insurance from Peachtree to Pavement. Another late-night Charger bites the dust. Atlanta troopers wrap it up quick, proving once again, you can run, but not for long. May 7th, 2024, Columbus, Ohio. Just after 1:15 p.m., police get an alert from flock cameras about a stolen vehicle linked to an aggravated robbery. Whitehall officers spot the car and try to make a stop, but the suspects, both teenagers, have other plans. They take off, flooring the stolen Hyundai down city streets, kicking off a dangerous midday pursuit. As speeds rise, Columbus police join in to assist. What started as a routine recovery just turned into a rolling crime spree.
He's just making a U-turn. We're going to go southbound on Georgia, southbound Georgia. 631 up to 640.
Thank you.
The suspects weave through traffic, nearly clipping cars, blowing past intersections, and somehow managing to steal another vehicle mid-chase. Officers stay right on them, determined not to let them slip away again. Radio chatter builds, cruisers spread out, and it's only a matter of time before this joyride takes a hard turn.
They got 6 of them at high school. Right? He's going to be inside of this shopping mall. He's going to have to out one down the street. Northbound.
I can't see, bro. How did you make it this? Ran it all over.
Two three.
Are they agree at all in this place?
631 Simon Riverbend.
Operating the entranceway of the old football stadium. They're right off Mile Street for southbound.
Get out.
Moments later, the driver slams head-on into a police cruiser near Climb and Riverbend roads, hard enough to disable both vehicles. But even that doesn't stop them. They try to keep going until an officer performs a clean pit maneuver, spinning the Hyundai straight into a tree. Officers rush in, pulling both teens from the wreckage. They're taken into custody without further incident. Both suspects, already known for stolen car cases, are now facing multiple charges, including felony fleeing and eluding aggravated robbery assault on a police officer possession of a stolen vehicle. Both are currently being held at the Franklin County Juvenile Detention Center. From robbery to wreckage, these two learned the hard way that in Columbus, every stolen ride eventually runs out of road. December 18, 2023, Jacksonville, Florida. It's a quiet afternoon on I-95 until a Florida Highway Patrol trooper spots a silver Volkswagen Jetta making an illegal lane change near an exit ramp. When the lights go on, the Jetta speeds up instead of slowing down, and just like that, the calm turns into chaos. The trooper radios dispatch as the car bolts southbound, hitting nearly 100 miles per hour. The driver weaves between vehicles, hugging the shoulder, and even brushes against a highway sign while trying to stay ahead of pursuing units.
It's going to be November, Victor, Alpha, Victor 46 on a silver Volkswagen Jetta. Southbound 95, coming up to Atlanta. Still southbound 95 coming up to passing Atlanta. Riding the shoulder jack, still moderate traffic.
Traffic's moderate, but the Jetta's dancing through it like it's an obstacle course. The driver's ignoring every chance to pull over, reckless, desperate, and clearly out of control. This guy's got a death wish, one trooper mutters over the radio as the chase barrels down the interstate.
Trying to weave in and out of lanes, still trying to evade me. Southbound 95 coming up to Emerson.
Jackson, I-01. Hey, I'll pick this call and she did with that speedway. I had her name and phone number again.
Still southbound 95 jacks. Traffic is still moderate. Passing Emerson. Jackson just hit a sign. He just Singapore.
Moments later, the inevitable happens. The Jetta clips another sign, loses traction, and careens into a grassy ditch. Within seconds, troopers surround the smoking car, weapons drawn. The driver refuses commands, forcing troopers to break the window, drag him out, and pin him to the ground. Charges: fleeing and eluding reckless driving, resisting arrest, driving with a suspended license. From a simple traffic stop to a full-on highway takedown, the silver Jetta didn't stand a chance. Another day, another Florida driver finding out the hard way that running from troopers never ends well. September 18, 2025, Crittenden County, Arkansas. Just past midnight, a stolen GMC Sierra rockets toward the state line. Trooper Darren Evans barely blinks before it blasts by at 90 miles per hour, treating a stop sign like decoration. This guy's not driving. He's speed running real life.
Left on him, okay?
The truck rockets onto the interstate, weaving and brake checking like it's a game. Evans stays locked in, but every move fails. The driver's all gas, no sense. It's the kind of driving that makes insurance agents wake up in cold sweats.
TBI rollover. TBI rollover, he went over the wall.
Finally, Evans makes his move. A well-timed pit maneuver sends the GMC off the road and into the guardrail. The truck flips several times before crashing into a tree line. The driver, 30-year-old Justice Cisco, stumbles out and takes off running, but doesn't make it far before troopers bring him down in the woods. Inside the wreckage, officers find what they expected: beer cans everywhere and the strong odor of alcohol. Cisco was hit with a long list of charges, including felony fleeing, vehicle and on foot, DWI, reckless driving, theft of property, criminal mischief, open container refusal to submit to chemical test, littering, speeding from Tennessee highways to Arkansas dirt. This stolen GMC didn't make it far. What started as a drunk joyride ended with a flipped truck, a hospital visit, and one suspect learning the hard way that gravity always wins. At around 3:33 p.m., Trooper C. Brinson with the Florida Highway Patrol spotted a white Genesis G70 with an illegally tinted windshield heading north on US 441. When the trooper tried to pull the car over, the driver acted cooperative for a second, pulling into a Circle K, then floored it southbound, kicking off a pursuit. Speeds climbed fast, over 90 miles an hour in a 35 zone, as the driver blew through stop signs and smashed into several mailboxes trying to take a corner. Trooper Brinson stayed close, watching the Genesis swerve into oncoming lanes before deciding to end it. A pite maneuver spun the car into the median, and the suspect, still not giving up, tossed a brown backpack out the door before finally stopping. The driver, Sidney Paul Hayes, surrendered with his hands up. Deputies found the tossed bag, loaded with marijuana, cocaine, scales, baggies, and even 2 unidentified pills. Hayes admitted he ran because he thought his license was suspended. He was booked into the Orange County Jail on charges including fleeing and eluding trafficking, cocaine possession with intent to sell marijuana, reckless driving, tampering with evidence. What began as a simple tint violation ended with a PIT, 4 broken mailboxes, and 1 drug arrest. For Hayes, that Circle K stop could have been the easiest decision of his day, if only he'd stayed put. July 17, 2025, Thurston County, Washington. A license plate reader flags a stolen vehicle passing through Olympia. When officers move in to stop it, the driver floors the accelerator, instantly turning a traffic stop into a high-speed pursuit. The car rockets onto the highway, slicing between lanes and forcing drivers to scatter.
88, contemplate next shoot.
These officers are going to be on a code 10 for county pursuit on officer.
With speeds topping 130 miles per hour, the suspect weaves through traffic and rides the shoulder, showing no signs of stopping. Deputies coordinate a plan ahead, spike strips and a grappler system, ready to bring the chase to an end safely. The tension builds as units close in from multiple directions, each waiting for the right moment.
We're passing 193rd Avenue right now.
80, I'm gonna go for a grapple.
Fully 80, go for a grapple.
Good grapple, felony stop.
Good grapple.
South at 93rd, we'll be on the film stuff.
Moments later, a deputy deploys the grappler. The device locks onto the car's rear tire, jerking the vehicle sideways before it spins out and comes to a stop. Within seconds, officers move in and take the driver into custody without further incident. The driver, whose name was not immediately released, was wanted on multiple felony warrants out of King County. He now faces new charges including possession of a stolen vehicle attempting to elude law enforcement. No officers or civilians were injured, and no vehicles were damaged. What began as a simple license plate alert escalated into a 130-mile-per-hour pursuit across Thurston County. Thanks to quick coordination and modern pursuit tools, deputies ended it without injury, proving that precision, not power, wins the chase. October 11, 2025, just after 3:30 a.m. in Dade City, Florida troopers were already on edge. A hit and run had just been reported on US 301, where a woman walking along the shoulder was struck and killed. Before deputies could even secure the scene, a silver Chevy Silverado came speeding back toward the area, the same vehicle witnesses described leaving moments earlier. When troopers tried to stop it, the driver ignored every command and tore off into the night. That's when the pursuit began.
Airport. Approaching closely. Speed approximately 50 miles an hour. Speed 50 miles an hour.
The Silverado cuts through the darkness at well over 100 miles per hour, drifting from lane to lane like the driver's fighting the wheel or his own conscience. Sirens echo through the quiet highway as troopers call out positions, trying to box him in. The truck's tires scream against the asphalt, clipping the shoulder and kicking up debris. Dispatch confirms the name. Andrew Crumman, 23 years old, a familiar face with a long record, and by the look of his driving, he's not planning on pulling over tonight.
6001, just past County Road 788. Speed departs like 70 miles an hour. Airport County Road 70 miles per hour.
I'm working on your location now.
The chase barrels down US 301 until troopers finally get their chance. Crummon's pickup loses control, spinning out in a cloud of dust. He stumbles from the cab, glassy-eyed, unsteady, and clearly under the influence. He's quickly taken into custody and charged with DUI, fleeing and eluding, aggravated assault on law enforcement, false imprisonment, and leaving the scene of a fatal crash. 8 arrests in 4 years, and this one sealed it. What started as a fatal hit and run turned into another reckless sprint that ended the same way they always do, in cuffs and regret. November 7, 2024, around 4:38 a.m., Trooper Alston noticed a gold Buick Century rolling through Riviera Beach with a shady-looking temporary tag. A quick records check confirmed his suspicion. The tag wasn't registered to any vehicle. When he flipped on his lights and sirens, the driver hit the gas instead, and a high-speed pursuit began through narrow neighborhood streets.
Avenue S or Avenue Romeo? Avenue X, Sierra.
The Buick blew through stop signs, clipped curbs, and hit speeds of over 80 miles per hour in 25 to 40 miles per hour zones. The suspect showed no signs of slowing, forcing Trooper Alston to end the chase before someone got hurt. He moved in and executed a precision immobilization technique, sending the Buick spinning into a tree on Avenue S.
Did you get the temp tag, Lincoln? It looks like there's nowhere for them to go unless they go back up to Silver Beach Road or Old Dixie, just to 14 or Blue Heron.
Both occupants were detained. The passenger, Sherrod Roll, cooperated and was released on scene. The driver, Jacob Williams, was found injured and taken to St. Mary's Medical Center, where he was identified. His license, expired, revoked, and suspended. A search turned up marijuana, crack cocaine, and powder cocaine, and the Buick itself wasn't registered anywhere. Charges fleeing and eluding law enforcement, reckless, driving, possession of cocaine and marijuana, possession of counterfeit tag, driving with license, suspended or revoked. A fake tag, a desperate run, and a PIT into a tree, not exactly a smooth getaway. For Jacob Williams, the only ride waiting at the end of that chase was the one to jail. At approximately 11:10 p.m. on August 4, 2025, Florida Highway Patrol Trooper M.W. Peachman responded to a bolo for a stolen dark SUV traveling south on US 41. Moments later, he spotted the same vehicle speeding westbound on State Road 78, hazard lights flashing and drifting between lanes. At first, the trooper thought the driver might be in distress, until the SUV suddenly took off at over 80 miles per hour.
vehicle's heading?
The suspect pushed his luck, weaving through late-night traffic, crossing into oncoming lanes, and hitting speeds up to 133 miles per hour with his headlights off. Trooper Peachman attempted a PIT maneuver, but the driver managed to recover control and keep fleeing, narrowly avoiding a crash and getting lucky more than once. The chase swept across multiple highways and intersections as the trooper stayed close, waiting for the right moment to end it safely.
Whiskey on State Road 78. Number 5. Speed to 75. Traffic.
On 5, coming up to a base point. Approaching base point.
Near State Road 31, Trooper Peachman performed a second pit maneuver, forcing the SUV onto the shoulder and bringing the pursuit to a stop. The driver, 32-year-old Colton Dean Smith, was taken into custody without further resistance. A glass pipe with burnt residue was found in his pocket, and a firearm was recovered from the vehicle. Smith admitted he fled because he was on probation, had no valid license, and feared going to jail. Charges: fleeing and eluding law enforcement driving. While license, suspended or revoked possession of drug paraphernalia. Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, reckless driving. Speeding. What started as a welfare check turned into a high-speed pursuit topping 130 miles per hour. Despite Smith's reckless attempt to outrun the law, troopers brought the chase to a controlled end. Smith was medically cleared and booked into the Lee County Jail, where his suspended license wasn't going to take him anywhere this time. Thanks for riding the adrenaline wave with us here at Mind Rush. If you're hungry for more heart-pounding action and edge-of-your-seat excitement, don't go anywhere, because we're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more mind-blowing moments coming your way soon.